So if you look at a burn list from almost 9 years ago and compare it to a modern day burn list, almost all the cards are the same. So why is it that in 9 years this deck changed very little and still remains a prevalent part of the metagame? Well, let's first look at how this deck was originally built. Back in 2011, the starting year for Modern, a burn list still had Goblin Guide, Lava Spike, Lightning Bolt, Rift Bolt, and Searing Blades. You know, the usuals. But there were still some spicy cards like Hellspark Elemental, Keldian Marauders, Magma Jet, Grim Lavamancer, and some others. When it comes down to the play patterns of this deck, it was a really fast deck, even by today's standards. It just hoped to cast out everything and win before their opponent could do anything. In the 2011 to 2012 timeframe, some lists were going Rakdos for Bump in the Night and a few other cards. It also was playing 4 Vexing Devils, which I will just say for the newer players is not a good card by today's standard. Yet considering it just came out and a big part of the metagame was combo, I can understand this, and there was also Thunderous Wrath that saw play for a little. Now in 2013, a new set came out introducing Skullcrack, which was a big win for the burn deck, and some people were still playing Vexing Devil. There were also still some people playing Rakdos, but in addition, there were also some Boros lists playing the newly added Boros Charm, yet the majority was mono red. 2014 was the big year for Burn. It finally got the iconic creatures Monastery Swiftspear and Eidolon of the Great Revel. With the addition of those two, it got rid of Hellspark Elemental and Keldian Marauders. And besides it sometimes trying out Treasure Cruise and keeping Grim Lavamancer, the deck is basically the same as it is now. The two main upgrades that we see today are Steward of the Critics and the Horizon Lands in 2019, and some people tried out Light Up the Stage and a few others, but it didn't really work out. Now in 2015, some weird stuff happened. Yeah, Naya Burn. I am not getting into that story, sorry. And it was really in 2019 where the deck completely stopped changing, which sounds recent, but that is almost 4 years ago considering we are only a couple days away from New Year's. Yet if we step back and look at the bigger picture, Burn, one of the most simple decks, has changed more than we give it credit for. Yet I think what manages to make it feel the same is the fact that there are cards that never disappear from the deck, and the playstyle never differs. It's always just burn them out. The deck just has a really good foundation and game plan that is open to change rarely, and when it does change, it isn't new, just improved. And this is one of the best entry-level decks, easy to play, and it costs 56% less than the top decks, and being one of the best starting decks keeps it really relevant. The deck can also just play well in many time frames, as long as Modern isn't a turn 3 format. One thing that also keeps the deck the same is the fact that it didn't get too many new toys in the last 3 years, unlike some other decks. And one thing that is good about Burn being in the format is that it shows Modern is somewhat healthy, since you're making it to turn 4 or 5. And while it does suck to lose to Burn, I really wouldn't like to see Modern without this deck, and I wish other archetypes were able to remain relevant like this with only a few upgrades. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.